The evil design of Japan's death penalty. I didn't even know Japan had a death penalty for real, like, bro. They don't even got like what would their death penalty executions be like? I feel like they would just chop your head off with like a samurai sword or something. I don't know. Let me see.
Today, most of the developed world has ended
See, that's
the
just
death penalty.
stereotypical. I never see something.
But in
stereotypical.
2024, there are still 2 countries in the OECD that use it: the United States of America and Japan. But while the US has been transparent about its ultimate punishment, Japan has kept its practices secret for years.
Okay.
It was only in 2010 that the world was finally shown the evil design of Japan's death penalty. July 26, 2022. Tomohiro Kato is sitting in his cell in the Tokyo Detention Center. 14 years ago, he killed 7 people and injured 10.
東京の警察によると、秋生セクアンでの自傷事件で少なくとも7人が死亡し、10人が
I feel like to get somebody born in Japan mad, like, you gotta understand, bro. Yeah, I feel like to get somebody really mad in Japan, like, bro, Japanese people are just super nice, bro. Y'all remember that nigga Johnny Somali? That got all the people mad because he was trolling? To get somebody really mad over there, bro, like, you gotta do something crazy. You feel me?
死しました。警察によれば、ある男がトラックで買い物かの群れに突っ込みました。その後、彼はレンタカーから飛び降り、倒した人々を刺し始め、次に恐怖に限った傍観者に注意を向けました。
In 2011, Tomohiro Kato was sentenced to death. Every day he wakes up at 7 a.m. and heads to bed at 9 p.m. in a cell that's the size of about 4 tatami mats. He has a sink, a commode, bedding, and a small desk.
Unironically, better than a New York City apartment. Am I wrong, bro? Unironically. Like, look at the size of this.
In Japan, death row inmates can wait decades for an execution. But unlike the US, they wait for a day they never really know is coming. Any random morning, the inmate can be taken to the execution chamber. They're given
Kind of just looks like a school theater stage or something. I don't know.
more than a few hours' notice. The Japanese state says that this helps with emotional stability, but it reduces the chances of an inmate taking life. Some argue it's justice. Their victims weren't given notice either. Others say it's inhumane. For 34 years, a man named Menda Sakai didn't know which day would be his last. In 1983, he was freed. The police officer who arrested him revealed that he had concealed Sakai's alibi that proved he was innocent. 12,410 mornings with an unjustified fear for execution. In 2014, Iwa Hakamada was also released and given a retrial due to possibly falsified evidence. He was the longest-serving death row inmate on the planet. Hakamada spent more than 45 years in prison.
Oh my. Nah, bro. Wait, what was the crime, though? If it's some EDP shit, some murder, something like that, I'm not really gonna care, bro. I don't give a right? I don't care. I couldn't imagine, yo. I don't never understand how people become like serial killers or just like crazy people. Getting 40 years, bro. 40, that's like, you won't even live, bro. You definitely gonna die in prison unless you like fucking young as shit. You're definitely dead in prison. He
Waiting.
did not commit any crime. There's no way.
In the Tokyo Detention Center, Kato sits in his cell. He's surrounded by objects purposely made rounder so that he can't finish off his sentence earlier than expected. On July 26,
How does that make sense?
2022, after 14 years of waiting, he hears more noises than usual outside of his door. Today, the majority of the developed world has outlawed the death penalty. But Japan is strange. This book explains why. Even though it's still legal in the US, it's debatable. The United States is a federal, divided country. Many states have phased out the death penalty entirely.
Bro, bring back the death penalty so we can execute all these fucking like EDPs.
Japan, on the other hand, is a centralized state where polls have shown that the public supports it with a clear majority. The US's death penalty is intimately connected with its history of racial discrimination and enslavement.
Whoa. See, I didn't even notice for real. I actually didn't even notice for real. I mean, hey, bring it back either way. I don't care. Okay, not for this reason though. Not for this reason, but I mean, just so we can execute like EDPs, like actual things, you know, in modern times, not like these old times.
Japan is ethnically homogenous and has less inequality. The fall of an authoritarian leader like Hitler, Mussolini, Salazar, and Franco all led to the abolition of the death penalty in their respective countries. Japan's authoritarian state also fell, but the death penalty remained. In Austria, Great Britain, and France, the election of a left-wing government all led to the abolition of capital punishment. In 2009, Japan elected the center-left Democratic Party of Japan. The death penalty stayed. But what makes Japan's situation even stranger is how uniquely brutal it is. Its homicide rate is a fraction of that found in the US, and it's
I
lower
thought Japan has like the lowest crime rate and stuff.
than all the European countries which
yeah,
have
it is.
abolished the death penalty.
God damn!
Nevertheless, the percentage of murder offenders sentenced to death in Japan and the US are around the same. In 2018, 15 Japanese prisoners were killed, with about 116 inmates on death row. That's 10 less than the US's 25, which had more than 10 times the amount of inmates on death row. 7 of the 15 executions were part of the AUM Shinriko Doomsday
Oh
Cult.
my god, I remember this dude, bro. They was thinking he was like the reincarnation of Jesus or something.
The Japanese state sometimes executes in batches. All 7 were killed on the same morning. While the US explicitly treats the death penalty differently from other criminal sentencing, in Japan it's treated like other criminal
Genghis
punishments.
Khan head
To be put to death in the US, you must go through a bifurcated trial system. There is a criminal trial for determining guilt or innocence, which requires unanimity. After, if determined to be guilty, it goes to another trial for deciding the punishment. Here, you must receive, again, a unanimous agreement from the jury. Then, the judge can serve you the death penalty.
Okay, but do they not question if jury people are stupid? Like, what if you get somebody with like a 2 IQ? You can't take their opinion serious, right?
Florida and Alabama are the only exceptions. But these 2 states are outliers in the US context, and they still require a supermajority. In Japan, it's different. Under the Saiban system,
They interview them?
citizens act like judges. They sit alongside professional ones to determine both the verdict and the sentence of a crime. All that is required for the death penalty is a majority. In theory, 5 judges on the panel can believe the defendant is guilty and deserves the death penalty, while the other 4 can believe the defendant is innocent and deserves no punishment whatsoever. With this close of a vote, the defendant can be sentenced to death. In Japan, there are 7 detention centers that execute the death penalty. It's the justice minister who decides when it will
I
take.
feel like if I was put to death, I want to be put in like, do it in a place like I love, like something I grew up on. Let me think. I'm trying to think. What did I love as a kid? Do it. Just end me in like a McDonald's play place or something, bro.
Take place. 5
Bring
days
back
after
the
he or
electric
she
chair?
signs the warrant, the prisoner is put
Chuck
to
E.
death.
Cheese would be a good option.
These are usually signed right before political recess,
Disney World.
moments where
it's not
media
that fun.
coverage is limited. The executions are not made clear to the family members and lawyers of the inmates. They only learn after it's taken place. Kato is brought into a prayer room. Here he is read his last rites by a spiritual advisor. He is given time to write a will and maybe to consume some snacks or even smoke a cigarette.
Damn, they don't do no last meals there. Damn shame, Japan. Damn shame.
Afterwards, he's taken into another small room with an altar. If they're Buddhist, it will be a figure of the Buddha. If they're one of the few Christians in the country, a crucifix. In this room, the execution order is officially read out by the prison warden. The last thing Kato sees are the blue curtains covering the next room. The guards wrap a bleached white blindfold around his eyes, throw a black hood over his head, handcuff his hands behind his back, and tie his knees together. He is taken to the next and final room.
Sounds like they're getting freaky.
In the US, lethal injection is the primary method of executing the death penalty.
I wouldn't even want that for real, because I heard, bro, with lethal injection, you could like feel everything. Just give me a clean shot to that.
Japan, hanging is the only method. At the center of the room are 2 red squares. An inmate is made to stand in the center. Beneath is a trap door connected to an adjacent room. When the inmate is in place, 3 officers enter this room. They do not see the prisoner. What they see instead are 3 identical buttons.
What?
2 do nothing, but the third opens the trap door. The 3 officers do not know which one is the kill switch. This divides the responsibility.
They treating this shit like a game? This sounds like Saw or something. Something Saw would make up. I wonder if they're in the back like, yo, is it my button? Is it my button? Nah, bro. This time, bro, it's about to be my button. It's about to be my button. Like, what the hell?
Between all 3.
Squid Game IRL.
It's also been mentioned that there is a delayed circuit to hide who pressed the kill button if they were pressed at different times. But I could not find a good source to confirm this.
Are there betting lines? I bet they made bets. 100% they made bets on this too.
For their service, all 3 officers received 20,000 yen, about $180 each. Watching the execution
What? That's
are a
it?
few officials: the head of the detention center, a medical officer, and the prosecutors. The medical officer waits for 5 minutes until confirming the death. After the body is cleaned, the families are notified. The body will be cremated unless the family specifies
I bet my
otherwise.
button kills this guy.
In the case of some high-profile inmates, the ashes are kept in state custody. It was only in 2007 that the Japanese government even released the names of those put to death. Currently, there are 106 inmates awaiting their execution in Japan.
It's actually kind of a lot.
The last person
more than I
sentenced to death row killed 36 people in an arson attack.
Holy
Tomohiro Kato
shit.
was the last person executed in the country.
Oh, this was the anime studio, I think. Damn, yeah, that's sad, bro. I think this is the anime thing.
I only felt comfortable putting this video in production after it was confirmed that a very specific organization would sponsor it. If topics like this one make you feel
Thank you for the videos. Well made. Yeah, bro. Safe to say, I'm not gonna get executed by Japan. All right. When I go to Japan, I'm gonna be a very safe and stellar citizen. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on some Johnny Somali time because I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, if you're watching this on the tube, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.